So former Republican candidate and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley is doing major damage control for the way she responded to what should have been a pretty basic U.S. history question. Take a look.
What was the cause of the United States Civil War?
Well, don't come with an easy question or anything. I mean, I think the cause of the Civil War was basically how government was going to run, the freedoms and what people could and couldn't do. I mean, I think it always comes down to the role of government.
In the year 2023, it's astonishing to me that you answer that question without mentioning the word slavery.
The first thing I should have said was slavery. I completely agree with that. When you grow up in the South, slavery is a given. Like when you think of the Civil War, you know it was about slavery. That's not, that's never been in question.
I'm sorry. Apparently I said that Nikki Haley was a former candidate.
She's a candidate.
She's a present candidate.
Right.
What is she polling at?
Huh?
3% or 5%?
Look, I just forgot to say she was a candidate. Stop trying to dig my grave for me. She also said that question was a gotcha question. Nikki?
Whenever they don't like the question, it's a gotcha question.
Look, it was slavery. Slavery straight up.
Oh.
Slavery. Every time people try to change that, we need to change it back. You're old enough to know better. You read the history books. You know what was happening. One side said we want the slaves. The other side said we don't, and they went to war. Don't sugarcoat this. That's what it was.
It was so interesting. Apparently, Santa didn't leave her a history book for Christmas. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking, isn't the 7 years ago, our forefathers, the Lincoln thing, wasn't that called the Emancipation Proclamation? To emancipate people. It's not called freedom for guys. Freedom for people to do whatever they want. It was called the Emancipation Proclamation. That alone gives you your first clue. She's getting her history from Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. Well, listen, I was dying to respond to this and heard from a lot of viewers because I am someone who I do support Nikki Haley, and I want to say unequivocally, this comment was wrong, bizarre, historically inaccurate. It felt like pandering too, and I kind of get insulted by that because the vast majority of Republicans do not want people to whitewash slavery. Maybe our elected politicians have that take, but most do not.
The base, that's who she's talking to.
And listen, the statement was unacceptable. She did walk it back, unlike Ron DeSantis when he stepped in it with AP Black History.
Oh my God, he doubled down.
Doubling and tripling, quadrupling down. But here's what I'll say with Haley. I'm still supporting her in the primary, and here's why. Donald Trump, if the election were held today, he would statistically beat Joe Biden. There are 3 ways to stop Donald Trump: the Republican primary, the courts, which may not catch up with him by election day, or the general election. Joe Biden is struggling right now. Nikki Haley is where I am on historic generation-defining issues: supporting Ukraine, continuing our aid to Israel, continuing to secure the border.
What about abortion?
She's very nuanced on abortion.
What's her position on
abortion? She said 15 to 20 weeks, and that there always need to be exceptions for rape, incest, life of the mother. This is a candidate that you guys never have to vote for her, but she is not an existential threat to our democracy.
She won't.
What I don't understand is how she starts the question with starting with a hard question. I actually find that a very easy question. And then when she calls it a gotcha, she's again showing where her head is, because that's not a gotcha question. This is one of the easiest things you could ask anyone. You don't need a history book. You just need to have woken up and come out of the vagina. Like in this country, everyone knows the history of this country. It is a stain that we will carry like a burden that needs to be shouted and proclaimed over and over again. And it is easy.
Nikki Haley, who is one of the candidates for the Republican GOP, was being asked this question, that what causes civil rights war, and she called it a gotcha question. This is one of the questions that's very simple. So Nikki Haley did not really want to talk about they call her a hypocrite because she didn't answer the question directly. According to the women in the views, more 90% of the Republicans are the Caucasian. So Nikki Haley did not want to, I guess, step on their toes. So Nikki Haley pretend like she never understood. Her answer could have been that obviously slavery, but she didn't want to talk about slavery. So they were trying to say that the South, and she's a governor, She's the former governor of South Carolina. That the South have been known for racism, for the war. The South did not want war. They wanted slavery, and the North didn't want slavery. So that was a conflict between the North and the South, which was a civil rights war that anyone in America ought to know about it, even if child, because you have read it. That's a history that is being pronounced. Slavery is something that, according to one of the women in the View, she said that it's like a baggage that they are going to carry it to the rest of their life. They are going to what their forefathers did. They would do it. They call so it's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to run away from. It's something that they have passed through. It's history. If the children keep knowing their history, they are going to know how to focus. But sometimes they try to hide it. They don't try to, because sometimes they don't want to hurt the feeling either of any of the people. So according to Nikki Haley, then one of the party women in the View said that Michelangelo always said that when someone says something at first, you always believe that person. So to her, Nikki Haley is a hypocrite, because she remember in the past Nikki Haley was being asked about there was a shooting in her state, and she brought down the flag. But when they asked of it, she refused, and she didn't really acknowledge, like accept what she has done by bringing down the flag. So sometimes she was being forced, according to the women in the Blue. So to them, they don't even trust her. One of the other leaders, she would prefer Nikki Haley to win the election rather than Donald Trump. She preferred, but according to the other ones, they don't prefer no Nikki Haley. They don't prefer no Donald Trump. To her, basically, she said everyone has a fault. Nikki Haley was that one that was being put in that position that nobody even put her there. She just walked there by grace, and basically she will be more better according to the others. So the women in the View, they had different views. Everybody have their own conception about what is happening in the GOP and what is going to happen. So they come out with different opinions and different views about Nikki Haley. Some people call her hypocrite. Some people, although she behaves like that, and they still like her. So basically, what do you think? Are you in support of the fact that Nikki Haley could have like educate, and with the question that she was being asked, should have just give the direct answer and explain about slavery, rather than shading or hiding from it, or hiding from that particular topic? So what do you really think? Can I see your own opinion, what you think about everything, on the comment section, about what Nikki Haley said, about what her opinion, if she's right, about what do you really think? Thank you very much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please do not forget to subscribe and help share the video. God bless you.